Okay, so yes, we went out and got rid of our 2000 fifth wheel and now own a vintage 1978 Boler 1700.
First impressions?
Tow's really nice and smooth. Don't even know what's back there. Truck's not laboring at all, so we'll see what happens when we load it up and put all our stuff in it, but for now, this should save a ton in fuel.
What does Mabel think? Not impressed, Mabel?
For those who aren't in the know, what is a Boler 1700? Let's go take a look. And there it is. 17 feet of fiberglass RV goodness. 1978 version. They were originally developed in Winnipeg in 1968. Factory moved around a little bit, and so this one was actually built in Calgary back in the late 70s. So if you're not familiar with Bolers and kind of these small fiberglass trailers in general, let's just say they have a really passionate following of people out there. So, you know, I'm not going to change the format of the channel to be purely vintage trailer related, but I think you're going to see this feature a lot more prominently in a lot more videos, especially here over the summer as we use it to travel around and check out a few things. So I'm going to start the tour here at the back, and you can see it really needs a good solid cleaning. There's a fairly significant layer of grime on here that kind of comes off on the fingers, so we're going to polish that up and make that look a lot better. And one other thing I haven't been able to figure out yet is where exactly I'm supposed to mount the license plate. There is no license plate bracket here on the back anywhere that I can find, so we'll get that sorted out. We just towed it home with the license plate hanging in the rear window or stuck in the rear window, although it fell down at some point during the trip, but we didn't get stopped, so that's all that matters. So moving down the driver's side here, it has the original orange Boler stripe. Again, fair amount of grime. Don't worry about that duct tape on the roof. Previous owner had it on her driveway and had Christmas lights hung on it and forgot to remove that section of duct tape. So that's not covering a crack or a gap. There's some more duct tape residue here, and like I said, the outside really needs a good cleaning to kind of bring it back and polish it up. Only 15 amp power. There's no air conditioner or anything like that, so it doesn't use up a ton of power. Tray style gravity water dish for filling the main tank, and then city water fill here. Nice new tires and rims on it. The brakes have been inspected, bearings repacked, so those are all good and ready to go. Nice window up front. Has a fiberglass cap on it here for sun and rain, and also to keep the rocks off it while going down the road. This arm is broken. The wing nut here doesn't secure anything, so this side is a little floppy. So Emily's already been in touch with a local company here to see about getting this graphic remade up front. And these old bubble levels, I don't even think have a bubble in them anymore. Propane tanks are out of date, but I have propane tanks that'll mount on here, no problem. We'll put our two 30-pounders on the front, even though with something this size you won't go through a ton of propane. It's already had a new A-frame hitch coupler mounted on the front or welded on the front. So it's a more standard 2-inch ball. Most these, when they were built, were 1 7/8 inches, which is kind of difficult to find. And the curved fiberglass door with another Boler logo on it that we need to have replenished. And that was very a conscious decision by the company that Boler was never supposed to be capitalized. And we'll skip the inside for now. Appears it was originally purchased through Uncle Ben's RV. Another bubble level that doesn't appear to have a bubble on it. Jalousie style windows, which will be kind of nice. You can open them in the rain and they won't let the water in. And yeah, more duct tape residue up at the top. And not sure what these brackets are that were welded on to the rear bumper, but they're there, and figure out something for them. Or like I said, doesn't really matter to us. And of course the manual stabilizer jacks, those are new, we put those on. So that's kind of the outside. Let's head in. So I have to be careful when I step in because there's not a ton of headroom. In fact, you can see I brush right up against there when I come in, but once I get into this upper area, I have just about a hand's width between my head and the roof. I stand at 6 feet, so that's not too bad. Oh, hey, look, this is totally random. Here's Emily, and wow, she's already conveniently wearing a microphone. How completely unplanned and spontaneous.
Hello.
All right, Emily's going to take us through the interior of the 78 Boler 1700.
Yes, it's surprisingly spacious inside. In the nose, we have the dinette set. The table comes down and slides onto these brackets and creates a small bed up here. The woman who had it before us got all of these cushions reupholstered really nicely. And she did all the curtains as well. Lots of great storage in the bulkhead up here. Really deep storage compartment over on that side, which is pretty nice. They just cram this thing full of storage, which is quite impressive.
Okay, I have to ask, is it planned or coincidence that your shirt matches the interior?
Oh, no, I love this color. So maybe just a coincidence. All right, so this is the major benefit of having one of the 17-foot Bolers is actually having an onboard washroom. It's nothing much. There's a small toilet and it is a wet shower basically, so the whole room is the shower. But it is really nice to have. When we were tenting, it was always the worst part of tenting was getting up in the night to go to the bathroom, so this is a godsend for me especially. Next door to the bathroom is this quite sizable closet actually. The woman who had it before us suggested that we get these little Rubbermaid drawers to keep organized in the closet, and they fit like a glove in there. We can still hang jackets and stuff in the closet too. This little contraption here is a bit of modernization. That's actually the solar panel controller. They put one small solar panel on the roof to keep the battery charged, which is nice. More storage compartment up here. This is our vintage Dometic refrigerator.
Very vintage. Harvest gold on the inside of the door.
Yeah, and it works well. It gets really cold.
So,
tiny little ice box here.
Yeah. So the tiny ice box is really not going to be an issue for us until we make our next trip down to the US and we try and come back with 8 gallons of Tillamook ice cream. I don't know how we're going to do that yet. It might be styrofoam cooler and dry ice or something, because the whole point of going to the US is to come back with tons and tons of Tillamook ice cream. Video not sponsored by Tillamook, but it could be if you want to reach out to us, guys.
Okay. Now we come to the small kitchen here. It has been updated a little bit. This is not the original sink or the faucet. This is the only sink in the trailer, so I guess we'll be brushing teeth and washing hands where we cook, but it's camping. Tiny, cute little oven here. This is the stove top under here. Little 3-burner gas stove. Hood fan.
That's gotta be an original hood fan.
Saturn powered.
Ooh. And it all does work too. You can't really tell, but the light's on there. And
ready for takeoff.
Does move.
The bulkhead cabinet here is quite sizable for all our cute little camping themed dishes. The liner here is actually called Ensolite, and it's a rubberized foam material. It's actually squishy. It was from the aircraft industry back in the 70s when bowlers were being made, and they tried a lot of different materials to see what would be lightweight and durable yet good insulation, and they settled on Ensolite. So this is a bit of a modification that the previous owners did. It would have previously had more cabinet space in that bulkhead up there, no bunk bed, and this is the sofa / fold out bed here. This, I don't think a normal sized human can actually sleep up there, so I just got some of these long storage bins and we'll just use it for storage. Tuck them away up there. And that's the interior tour of our Boler 1700.
Now, we are very new to the whole vintage trailer game, but we have managed to pick up a few little tips and tricks that are Boler specific. And this may be a hint for anyone who's ever planning on purchasing a bowler. I was going to say a used bowler, but they're all kind of used at this point. The company's been out of business since 1988. These pillars here are not just decorative, and you'll see there's these two here. There's some stuff hidden in this pipe covered area here, and then over here as well there's two more of these pillars. Those are not just decorative, but those are actually structural and help support the roof of the bowler. I mean, the construction of these things really is pretty dead easy. There's the two clamshell halves, basically, that you have made out of fiberglass. They get riveted and attached together, and that's about it. So that's why that sort of structural support is important. The same applies to the cabinets over on this side. Those are also structural components that keep the roof supported. Not so much during normal use, but in places like this, when you have snow loads and things on the roof in the winter, you got to have that support to keep the fiberglass intact. And I have to say, for something that they fit into such a small footprint, they've really done a nice job in making it feel open. Like windows back here, nice big windows. This window actually does slide and open as well for ventilation. So it's very light and airy, and like I said, I think for just the two of us and Mabel, there's going to be plenty of room in here for a comfortable camping experience. So again, I'll just kind of give you a quick view from the back here as to how much space there is. So I think the 13-footer, while you see a lot more of those, I think that would be quite a bit tighter, even for just a couple. I know lots of people make it work, but for us, the 17-footer and having that bathroom is just, it was the opposite of a deal breaker. It was the must-have,
sealed the deal.
Killer feature. Yes. So yeah, that's great. Oh yeah, and gravity fed furnace. Our intention is to not use that. You know, apparently these things are not really well, what's the word? Safe. They're not safe. They're not made anymore, and we don't want to die. So we're just going to bring extra sleeping bags and not worry about that. One of the upgrades that you'll probably see us do at some point down the road will be to replace that with a more modern forced air furnace. I mean, it doesn't need to be very big. It's a small space, but that's just going to be one of those things. I mean, there's going to be a lot going on here as we kind of take this trailer, clean it up a little bit, especially on the outside, make it our own, and start that vintage camping journey that is, like I said, brand new to us and a brand new aspect to the channel. We're looking forward to using the Boler as we go out and exploring things. It tows behind the truck like it's barely even there, so that's going to help a lot. And yeah, stay tuned and watch for more of that sort of stuff coming up.
So now for a little exterior makeover. Bella was oxidized pretty bad when we got her. You can see there's a lot of this kind of black gunk and chalky gunk on the gel coat of the fiberglass. One of the online forums about bowlers suggested using this product. It's a marine fiberglass deoxidizer and polish. And as you can see, I've only put on just a little bit so far. Used a little a polishing buffer, and it's really doing a great job, and it's super smooth to the touch now. Pretty pleased about that.
So that's going to wrap it up for our first Boler video. I'll put all these Boler related or Boler specific videos into a playlist going forward to make it easy to find them all. But yeah, we've spent a couple days, 2-3 days since we recorded that first section of the video, getting more things prepped and packed, and I would go out and show you what we've done so far, except it is pouring rain outside. Our local area is actually under a rainfall advisory right now, so that'll have to wait. But there's been a few little things we've added and dealt with. And we're actually still hoping, if the rain lets up here in the next couple of days, to take Bella the Boler out for her maiden voyage later this week, just for a couple nights to a local campground. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for other Boler content, as well as regular adventure, exploration, historical, museum type content as well. Like I said in the earlier part of the video, that aspect of the channel's not going away. We're just gonna add a new aspect to things with a little bit of vintage trailering. And one final thought, we've already noticed how tightly knit the vintage trailer community is. The online forums have all been super helpful, very friendly group of people. And the other thing is, until you have like a trailer like a Boler, you don't realize just how much attention they attract. While we were outside polishing, we had people walking by on the sidewalk who had to stop and talk to us or make a comment about the trailer. We've had our neighbors come by. We had a friend of ours, Mark, hey, shout out to you, DJ Marky Mark, driving by, who saw us working on it. So it's been a real social magnet as well already. And so we're actually looking forward to getting it out into the campgrounds and seeing if that continues when we're actually out using it. But thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.